Hello everyone. I was pretty much staring at you, like not knowing if the camera was going, trying to make my entrance. Thank you for joining me on this part 2 video. I'm gonna roll up my window so people walking by don't hear me. It's pretty weird. And I have to hurry up with these reviews, so this might even be a part 3. Have 3 parts to it. So I've never done that before, and I'm not sure if people will stick with them. Because I noticed that my first part videos have a lot more views than my second part video, my part 2 videos. So, and I'm wasting time right now. So, I left off with Daenerys, and I said that the dragon thefts never happen. She has her dragons in the books. They never get taken away from her. That's my point. So now you have a scene with Jon Snow and Ygritte again, and pretty much she's teasing him again and just saying, like, just harassing him about the sex and everything like that, and just pretty much like giving him shit about like stuff that he thinks that he's doing right, but really in reality he's doing them wrong. Like that his objectives and his morals in life are not right. And she says something that she says very often in the book to Jon Snow, which is, "You know nothing, Jon Snow." She says that very often in the book. So, now we have Robb, and he's pretty much talking to, I think it's a Lannister. He's like a cousin to Jaime Lannister, I think. And so he's gone back and forth as like an envoy or whatever you want to call it, delivering messages from Robb Stark to the Queen, or pretty much King's Landing, with proposals of like treaties and stuff like that. And pretty much he's bringing back news that Cersei pretty much ripped up his letter and everything like that, and he gets sent away to be a prisoner and kept in the same pretty much cell, or whatever you want to call it, as Jaime Lannister. And then you have the woman that comes in, who's pretty much like the nurse or the surgeon that's on the battlefield, who pretty much tries to save the lives of both men on both fronts of the army. Like, she'll help the Starks and she'll also help the men of the Lannisters. And she's pretty much there asking Robb for supplies that she can get, and you'll see like tension between them, like lovable, like he likes her, you can tell she's very beautiful. But this never happens in the book, but I understand why they're doing it. They're trying to create like a love situation for Robb and everything, to give him more of I mean, in the show, throughout the show, he really hasn't had really any, like, I'm trying to think of the word. It's the way I could describe it with Robb. It's pretty much been straightforward with him. He's pretty much had the same type of road for a while. Like, it's just like he was the eldest son of Winterfell and blah blah blah. He was always that, and like they showed that. And then once he found out that his father was killed, he set on the path of being king of the North, and he's pretty much been going on that path of, defeating the Lannisters in battle, and that's it. So I think they threw her in to try to change things up with him. So I understand that. So now we have a scene with Theon again and his men of the Iron Islands at the farmhouse that they left off with Bran and his escaped party. And he's questioning the farm guy, the guy that owns the farm, like, did you see anything? And he says no. And Cleftjaw, the one that you see a lot out of Theon's men, pretty much finds walnuts that they were eating in that first scene with Brandon and Rickon. They were all eating walnuts, and they pretty much find walnut shells. And I don't really know how Cleftjaw and Theon all knew that they were eating walnuts and stuff like that. And so pretty much after they find the walnuts, then they think that, or they seem to have found out where Rickon and all them is. So they pretty much send Maester Luwin away, because they're going to do something that is going to be very traumatic, and they don't want the Maester to see or interfere or anything like that. So this is what I can say is similar to the book. I think, besides the walnut thing. My nose itches. Um, so now we have Daenerys again, and she's talking to, I think Ser Jorah. Yeah, she's just complaining to Ser Jorah about like her handmaiden being dead and everything like that. And again, this doesn't happen in the book. Her handmaidens are all alive and everything like that. And um, so she's pretty much like complaining about her situation. I understand why she's complaining. It's just me being biased. I don't like her. Um, and she's talking about trust, and she's pretty much like pissing on Ser Jorah. Like, I know that in the first season, I think he might have had something to do with the. I think he did have something to do when you saw like the wine salesman trying to poison her with wine, and he gets like a letter saying that it's all right for him to come back to the Seven Kingdoms, but he didn't do that. He helped her and saved her life, and he pretty much has given given Daenerys his life, and she pretty much just pisses on him and everything, and I hate that. So now, that was pretty much like a pointless scene, kind of. So now we have Jon and Ygritte, again, teasing him about sex again, and it's just like a funny situation because she says that if we do find your Night Watch brothers, I'm going to tell them that you slept with me, and that scene doesn't happen in the book, obviously, because she's not his captive in the book. But that was funny. I like that scene. She's pretty much like, just mocking him and everything, saying like just talking about it, like her when they were laying down, like his dong poking her in the back, and she's gonna show him the brothers, the bruise that she has in her back. It was just funny. And then she ends up running away. She gets the upper hand on Jon, and she runs away. And then Jon ends up getting surrounded by wildlings. Doesn't happen in the book, I guess. It kind of does happen in the book, so he's in big trouble now. He's surrounded. So now we have another scene, a scene with Sansa, who's sleeping, and she's having nightmares about the close encounter with the rapers that she had during the riot. Raping did not happen, or the close raping did not happen in the book. It wasn't like that, like I said in my last episode. But and then she wakes up and she finds that she has flowered, or she has gotten her period, and that's terrified her because that means that she's ready to have children, and that means that Joffrey will have to sleep with her and she'll have to bear his children, which any fucking girl would fucking dread. That'd be a fucking nightmare, like, and that does happen in the book, pretty much exactly like that. But Shae's not her handmaiden. And I've said this before and everything like that. She's not her handmaiden. She's somewhere else. But anyway, she tries to help her out, but another serving woman finds out, and then the Hound enters the room or whatever, and pretty much the gig is up. Cersei finds out that she had her period, and then you have a scene with Cersei talking to Sansa about womanhood, and she talks about Joffrey's birth and how difficult it was, and pretty much saying that Robert Baratheon, her husband, whenever she gave birth to her other children, Robert Baratheon would take off and go hunting. And this does happen in the book, and she also talks about love being a weakness. If you have love for anyone else other than your children, it's just a weakness in life, and it will be used against you. And I guess in that world of the Seven Kingdoms, that's very true. So you see that Cersei is a very hard and cold woman. So now you have a scene with Jaime and his cousin, or whatever. It's supposed to be his cousin, I think, in the book. But this younger boy or whatever, this guy is talking to him about how he squired for Jaime Lannister and the thrill that it gave him and how great it was. And you see Jaime pretty much kind of relating with the kid, and like you see that Jaime this is like almost like his first time with him being nice and genuine to another person rather than Cersei. And it seems that he's almost touched by something that this guy is saying, and that he can relate to it because he was a squire for Ser Barristan. Ser Barristan was the guy that Cersei and Joffrey dismissed for being too old and for letting the King Baratheon die, and he throws his sword down. It's that guy. He's supposed to be very good. He's like a legend in the Seven Kingdoms, which they don't really describe in the TV show. They do describe how good he is with his sword, but he's a legend in the book. Like, he's very, very good and skilled. And I wonder where he went to when he left. I wonder. So he ends up killing him, bludgeoning him to death with his shackles. Kills the kid, and pretty much you obviously assume that he's using him as a means of escape. And then when the guard comes in, which is the stupidest thing, who the fuck, what kind of guard would take that? Like, why would he care about that prisoner twitching on the ground and go right next to Jaime Lannister and turn his back on him? So when he chokes him out and kills him, it's just like, you idiot. Like, what do you think was going to happen? So that doesn't happen in the book. He never kills that kid anyway. I don't even think they had a moment together. So now you have a moment with Ser Jorah trying to figure out where the dragons are, and he's talking to that masked woman that you saw in the past episodes who's very mysterious and says weird things. Her name is Quaithe in the book, and I don't know if they say that in the show, but she's pretty much saying that the person that betrayed her, that betrayed Daenerys, is the person that she's with now, and he goes off, but that never happens in the book because Daenerys' dragons are not missing in the book. So now we have Daenerys going to the 13 councilmen, and she's pretty much trying to find out who stole her dragons. And the main guy, the one that, I forgot his name, who was a spice dealer that was introduced when she first arrived at Qarth, he's pretty much saying, if I knew where your dragons are, I wouldn't even tell you anyway, because dragons just mean destruction and chaos, and you'll just fuck everything up. So then you have the scene, all of a sudden tables turn, like all of a sudden you're like, what the fuck is going on, which does not happen in the book, and I was kind of weirded out by why would they make this eccentric situation. It like never happens in the book. I don't understand it. And so Zoran Daxos pretty much unites and is an accomplice with the this creepy, weird, bald, blue-lipped, weird dude that's like a wizard or something, a magician. And they pretty much say, the magician says, yeah, I have your dragons at the House of the Undying, and you have to go get them to be with your babies. And then Zoran Daxos is pretty much like teaming up with him, and he says, yeah, we're going to rule Qarth, and we're going to have dragons to take over Qarth. And then all of a sudden you see the same type of blue-lipped weirdos step out of nowhere and kill 11 of the 13 members, which is leaving the blue-lipped dude and Daxos alive. So the 11 members of the 13 council that ruled Qarth are dead, which does not happen in the book. I don't get it. And it's pretty much there's like a conspiracy going on. Like they have the dragons, and Daenerys runs and takes off, and pretty much the weird blue-lipped guys lets them go because he could have stopped him if he wanted to. You can see that. And so now you have a scene with Catelyn. She's freaked out because Jaime escaped, but then Jaime comes back. He was captured, and everyone's pissed at him and trying to there's like a mosh pit going on with him, and they're like just acting all like weird. And then you have a character named Rickard Karstark that says that he wants vengeance for his son's death, and he wants Jaime to die for it because Jaime killed his son. And I'm like, alright, this is familiar, this is very familiar. And Catelyn pretty much talks Rickard Stark down, who's pretty much out of control. He's pretty much has like blood frenzy right now. He's pretty much going to disregard the situation and his loyalty to Robb Stark just to kill Jaime Lannister. But Catelyn talks him down. So now you have a scene with Tyrion and Cersei, and I'm gonna have to do another part with this. This is crazy. I'm so close to oh, this sucks. I'm so close to being done, and I'm gonna have to do a third part video. So please, you guys, please view the third part video. My hair is all messed up. Please view the third part video. There will be a third part to this review. And thank you for watching. Please vote. Please comment. Please like or dislike. I've already said vote anyway. But please watch part 3. There will be part 3 for this. Please view it, and I really appreciate it, you guys. You guys are the best. And remember, part 3. Right after you watch this, you go to part 3. Go part 3.